You didn't find this video, it found you. And that's not metaphor. That's not some mystical nonsense. That's actually how it works. And the fact that you're watching this right now, in this exact moment of your life, means something very specific is happening to you. You've been feeling it, haven't you? That strange restlessness. That sense that something needs to change, but you can't name what. That feeling of being slightly out of sync with your own life. Like you're watching yourself go through the motions, but you're not really there. Not really present. Not really living. And you've been searching. Maybe you don't even realize you've been searching. But you have. Scrolling. Clicking. Looking for something. Not entertainment, not distraction. Something else. Something that will finally make sense of this feeling. Here's what's actually happening. You're at a threshold, a turning point. One version of your life is ending and another is trying to begin. But you can't see it yet. You just feel the pressure of it. The weight of something pushing against your chest saying, "It's time, it's time, it's time." And you keep ignoring it because you don't know what it means. You don't know what you're supposed to do. So you keep going, keep working, keep maintaining, keep pretending everything is fine while this feeling grows louder. But today, something made you click on this video, not the algorithm, not luck, something deeper. That same part of you that's been whispering, "It's time," made you stop scrolling, made you pay attention, because you're finally ready to hear what it's been trying to tell you. Here's the truth you've been avoiding. You're not lost. You're not broken. You're not doing it wrong. You're in exactly the place you're supposed to be. But that place is uncomfortable because it's the place between who you were and who you're becoming. Between the old way and the new way. Between the life you built and the life that's calling you. And nobody tells you about this place. Nobody warns you that transformation doesn't feel like progress. It feels like falling apart. It feels like failure. It feels like you're the only person in the world who can't get their life together. But that's not what's happening. What's happening is you're outgrowing something, a belief, a pattern, a way of being that worked for years but suddenly doesn't fit anymore. And your whole body knows it, your whole soul knows it. That's why you feel so strange. That's why nothing satisfies you anymore. That's why you're searching. You're not looking for answers. You're looking for permission. Permission to admit that the life you're living isn't the life you want. Permission to stop pretending you're fine. Permission to finally listen to that voice that's been getting louder and louder. And this video is that permission. Because if reality can orchestrate things so perfectly that this exact video finds you in this exact moment when you need it most, then maybe, just maybe, you can trust what's happening to you. Maybe you can trust that restlessness. Maybe you can trust that voice. Maybe you can trust that you're not crazy. You're not failing. You're just finally waking up. Think about the last few weeks, the last few months even. Haven't there been signs? Small things. A conversation that stayed with you. A moment where you thought, "I can't keep doing this." A dream that felt more real than your waking life. Little cracks in the facade. Little whispers of truth. You've been dismissing them, pushing them down, telling yourself you're just tired, just stressed, just going through something temporary. But it's not temporary. It's permanent. Because once you start waking up, you can't go back to sleep. Not really. not fully. And that's terrifying. Because waking up means admitting you've been asleep. It means admitting that the person you've been pretending to be isn't who you actually are. It means facing the gap between the life you're living and the life you know, deep down, you're meant to live. But here's what nobody tells you about that terror. On the other side of it is freedom. Real freedom. Not the kind you buy or achieve. The kind you feel. The kind that comes from finally being honest. Finally being real. Finally being you. And you're ready for that now. That's why you're here. That's why this moment is happening. Not because you earned it. Not because you figured something out. But because something in you finally opened. Finally softened. Finally said, okay, I'm ready. Show me. And reality heard you and sent you this. By the way, our shared space of light and awareness is on its way to 100,000 people. Thank you to everyone who subscribes and brings this moment closer. You couldn't have watched this video a month ago. I mean, you could have. Technically, you could have clicked on it, watched it all the way through. But it wouldn't have landed. It would have been interesting, maybe. Thought-provoking. But it wouldn't have hit you the way it's hitting you right now. Because a month ago, you weren't ready. You were still trying to make the old way work. Still believing that if you just pushed harder, tried more, fixed yourself better, everything would fall into place. You were still invested in the story you'd been telling yourself about who you are and what your life is supposed to look like. But something happened between then and now. Something shifted. Maybe it was gradual. Maybe it was sudden. But somewhere in the last few weeks, a door opened inside you. And once a door opens, you can't close it. You can only walk through. This is how transformation actually works. Not through decision, not through willpower, not through some big dramatic moment where you suddenly become a different person. It works through readiness, through ripening, like fruit on a tree. You can't force an apple to be ready. It has to go through its time. It has to absorb sun and rain and wind. And then, one day, it's ready. And it falls. You're falling right now. Not in a bad way, in a necessary way. In the way that means you're finally letting go of something you've been holding onto for too long. And it's scary, because letting go always feels like losing, even when you're letting go of something that's been hurting you. Here's what most people don't understand about timing. They think timing is external. They think it's about being in the right place at the right time, finding the right opportunity, meeting the right person. And sure, those things matter. But real timing is internal. It's about being the right person at the right time, being ready when the moment comes. And you can't fake readiness. You can't pretend your way into it. You can't think your way into it. Readiness happens in the body, in the heart, in some deep place that has its own schedule, its own sense of when. That's why you've been so restless lately. That's why nothing has felt right. Because your internal timing was shifting. Your inner season was changing. And you could feel it happening, but you didn't know what it meant. So you tried to ignore it, tried to push through it, tried to get back to normal. But there is no normal anymore. There's only this moment, this readiness, this opening. Think about every major change in your life, every real transformation. It never happened when you planned it, did it? It happened when it was ready to happen, when something inside you finally released, finally surrendered, finally said, I can't keep living like this. That's what's happening now. You can't keep living like you've been living. You can't keep pretending you don't hear that voice. You can't keep ignoring what your whole body is trying to tell you, because you're past the point of no return. You've seen too much, felt too much, known too much. And reality knows this about you. Reality is responsive. It listens. It watches. It waits for the exact moment when you're ready to receive what you need. Not what you want, what you need. And right now, what you need is confirmation. You need to know that what you're feeling is real, that you're not imagining it, that you're not going crazy. So, it sent you this video at this time, on this day, in this moment of your life when you're teetering on the edge between the old you and the new you, when you're close enough to see the truth, but still scared enough to run from it. Here's the mechanism. Everything is connected, not mystically, literally. Your thoughts influence your attention. Your attention influences what you notice. What you notice influences what appears in your life, not because you're manifesting it, but because you're finally ready to see what was always there. This video was always here, but you weren't looking for it. You weren't open to it. You were busy trying to make something else work, busy forcing, busy controlling, busy being the person you thought you were supposed to be. But now you're tired. Now you're ready. Now you're finally willing to consider that maybe, just maybe, there's another way. A way that doesn't require so much effort, so much performance, so much pretending. And the moment you became willing, the universe responded. Not with magic, with synchronicity, with the natural flow of things that happens when you stop fighting and start allowing. That's what this moment is. This moment of you watching this video. This is the universe saying, I hear you. I see you. I know you're ready. And here's your next step. Not a big step, not a dramatic leap, just the next small thing, which is to stop doubting yourself. Stop questioning whether what you're feeling is real. It is real. It's the most real thing about you right now, and it's time to start honoring it. You've spent so long trying to fit into a life that doesn't fit you anymore. Trying to want what you're supposed to want. Trying to be happy with what should be enough. But it's not enough. And you know it. And pretending it is has been killing you slowly. This video found you to tell you something simple. Something you already know, but needed to hear from outside yourself. It's okay to want more. It's okay to want different. It's okay to admit that the path you're on isn't your path. It never was. You just didn't know there was another option. But now you do. Now you see it. And once you see it, everything changes. Not all at once. Not in some magical instant. But gradually. Steadily. Inevitably. Because you can't unknow what you know. You can't unsee what you've seen. You can only move forward. Into the unknown. Into the uncertain. Into the real. So now what? Now you know. You know this isn't coincidence. You know you're at a turning point. You know something in you is ready to change. But knowing doesn't tell you what to do. And that's what you want, isn't it? Instructions. A map. Some clear next step that will make all of this make sense. But that's not how this works. Because what you're learning right now isn't a skill. It's a language. The language of inner timing. The language of readiness. The language of trust. And you can't learn a language by memorizing rules. You have to speak it. You have to practice. You have to mess up and try again and slowly start to understand. Here's your first lesson. Stop waiting for certainty. You've been waiting your whole life for the moment. when you'll finally know for sure. Know what to do. Know who to be. Know which choice is right. But that moment never comes, because certainty isn't real. It's a story we tell ourselves to feel safe. But safety isn't the same as truth. And what you're looking for now is truth. So instead of waiting to be certain, start paying attention to what feels true. Not comfortable, not safe, not logical. True. There's a difference. Comfort is what you know. Truth is what you feel. In your body, in your chest, in that deep place that doesn't speak in words, but in knowing. You've been ignoring that place because it doesn't give you the answers you want. It doesn't tell you everything will be fine. It doesn't promise success or happiness or any of the things you've been chasing. It just tells you what's real, what's honest, what's yours. And right now, what's real is this. You're tired of pretending. You're tired of performing. You're tired of living a life that looks good but feels empty. And no amount of trying harder is going to fix that. Because the problem isn't effort. The problem is direction. You've been working so hard to get somewhere you don't actually want to go. So stop. Just stop. Stop trying to figure it all out. Stop trying to make the big decision. Stop trying to plan your transformation. You can't plan this. You can only allow it. One small choice at a time. One honest moment at a time. One tiny act of truth at a time. Here's what that looks like practically. Tomorrow, someone will ask you something, or you'll have to make a choice, and immediately you'll know what the safe answer is. The expected answer. The answer that keeps everything smooth and doesn't rock the boat. And you'll feel yourself starting to give that answer. Stop. Pause. Just for a second and ask yourself, is this true? Is this what I actually think? Is this what I actually want? Not what I should want, what I actually want. And if the answer is no, try something different. Try telling the truth. Just once. Just as an experiment. Actually, I don't know. Actually, I need time to think. Actually, that doesn't feel right to me. It'll feel dangerous. Your whole nervous system will light up like you just did something terrible. Because you broke the pattern. You stepped out of the role. You showed a crack in the facade. And every part of you that's been keeping you safe will scream at you to take it back. Don't. Just breathe. Let the discomfort move through you. Let the fear be there. Let the guilt be there. And notice what happens on the other side of it. Notice the clarity, the lightness, the sense of finally being real. That's your new compass. That feeling, not comfort, not safety. That feeling of truth, of alignment, of being yourself without apology. Follow that, even when it's scary, especially when it's scary, because that's the only way forward now, into authenticity, into honesty, into the life that's actually yours. This isn't about making big changes. Not yet. This is about building trust. Trust with yourself. Trust that you can feel something true and honor it. Trust that you don't have to keep lying to make other people comfortable. Trust that your path is your path and nobody else's opinion about it matters. And as you build that trust, something incredible happens. The anxiety lessens. That constant feeling of being in the wrong place at the wrong time starts to fade. Because you're not trying to be anywhere other than where you are. You're not trying to be anyone other than who you are. You're just here, present, real. Finally, that's what this video is for. Not to give you answers, but to give you permission. Permission to trust your timing. Permission to honor your readiness. Permission to stop racing and start living. to stop performing and start being, to stop waiting for your life to begin and realize it already has. Right here, right now, in this moment. You didn't find this video by accident. You found it because you were ready to stop pretending, ready to start listening, ready to finally come home to yourself. And that readiness, that's everything. That's the only thing that matters. Because once you're ready, everything else follows. Not perfectly, not easily, but naturally. The way water flows downhill, the way seeds become trees, the way you become yourself when you stop trying to be anything else. So if this video changed something in you, if it named something you've been feeling, if it gave you permission to trust what you already know, write in the comments, "I came on time." Write it like a statement. Write it like a truth. Not to me, to yourself, to the universe, to whatever brought you here in this exact moment when you needed it most. Because you did come on time. You always do, even when it doesn't feel like it. Even when you think you're late or lost or too far behind, you're exactly where you need to be. Learning exactly what you need to learn. Becoming exactly who you need to become. Trust that. Trust this. Trust yourself. Nobody